I see her, I go over and we talk. As we leave, I remember my bill. Right on time, my bill shows up. Shouldn't be too bad. I only got a cup of honey shit. $152. What the hell? Oh, hell no. I gotta talk to the manager or something. I'm getting ripped off that contact in the desert. It's so expensive.
What's good, everyone? Red Panda Koala here for Skyfire News. We got a lot of stuff going on today. We're going to be covering Tim Burchett's recent interview where he talked about Stephen Greer's CE5 protocols being a way to open people up to demons. So we'll see what y'all think about that. And then we're also going to be talking a lot about Kurt Jaimungal. Had his first UFO interview in 8 months. And he had some interesting things to say. Our friend over Vetted, Patrick, he also had some interesting commentary that we're going to be discussing here tonight. Before we bring in Tupa, let's go ahead and read out who's in the live chat right now. Armstrong, always there, always early. We love you. Thank you. Anthony Jones, member, says, some could be demonic. There's a lot of written history and evidence to support that claim. I say, let's go. George Dragon says, I love Skyfire News. And we love George Dragon. Bob Lazar's in the chat tonight, y'all. Let's go. He says, unexplained things drive curiosity. Very insightful, Bob. Very insightful. Aussie Tiger says, good day, y'all. Armstrong hits us with a good day. Armad, who we love, Heather Birdie says, good evening, everyone. Terrestrial Material says, about to Photoshop and chill to this. Hell yeah. Who else do we got? Mia says, here for the tingles. B says, bacteria is also demonic, ... Spread the news. Ooh, B's a big CE5er. Saw her taking some, she wasn't liking that. Spark Zap Zach says, ni hao. Who else we got? Christopher Morales says, what's up? How's it going, Chris? Jalapeno says, thunderstorm generator. Let's go. Bob hits us again. I'm watching with my Element 115 right here next to me. Thank you, Bob. Alicia, we love you. How's it going? What up, Buttercups? Peppery goes in. Hell yeah, we love you, bro. Yay, he says. Stoned Ape, friend of the show. Woo, 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 woo. Raffo Bro says, yo, alien girl, heart, hi. And she also says hi to Bob. Let's go ahead and bring in Tupa, and let's go ahead and get this show started. How we doing, Tupa?
Doing good. Doing good. My mouse just died. We're living our life. I think it's going to be a really interesting show today, man.
Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff happening. Burchett's comments, right up your alley.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I think it's a very interesting, apt idea. Of course, we're talking about CE5, right? Tim Burchett said that CE5, the idea of contacting aliens, right, through the classic method, right, human-initiated contact. Stephen Greer pioneered this in a lot of ways, right? But it's been in the mix for a while. And Burchett likens it to seances and different kind of demonic forces. I think this is kind of one of the more blunt references to that I've seen. Pretty wild. Pretty wild, man.
For sure.
Do we got a clip over here? Is this what this is? Ross Coldheart?
Yeah, should we just get right into it then, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
Right. Let's go ahead, because you know what? This is a little bit of a spooky vibe. Let's get some suspense in here. All right, so our first clip.
I think that there is a movement.
Shouts out Ross Coulthart. This was on his podcast that he now does on News Nation, which pulls huge numbers. Congrats, Ross. It's called what? Reality Check. And he had Tim Burchett on. Now, it's interesting. A little bit before this clip, Ross leads it in with the question of basically the Collins elite. He says, Lou Elizondo has publicly said that there are forces within the Pentagon who view this phenomenon as demonic, right? And colloquially called the Collins elite amongst the UFO crowd. And so Tim Burchett says, right before this, maybe we should have clipped it, maybe not. It was kind of a lot of dead air in between, but he says he trusts Lou, and then he goes into saying this about whether or not he thinks, he was asked by Ross, if there's anything to these demonic UFOs in the Pentagon. But it's interesting because Ross asked him like about the Collins elite, and he kind of took it a step further and was like, I'm the Collins elite. All right, here we go. Let's listen.
I think that there is a movement in the UFO community that people are opening themselves to demonic suggestion. I know people are doing seances and things to bring these craft down or in or something like that. And to me, it reeks of a demonic suggestion. You open yourself up to that. My dad used to say, if you open yourself up to that, that's when it happens. And not within the UFO movement, but I worry about that because there is a growing community that's what they do, and they talk about their spiritualism and things like that, and you know, it has all the essence of a classic seance, and I worry about that. I really do. You know,
So you're talking there about things like CE5, where there are groups that do meditation and they draw the phenomenon they claim to be engaging with a non-human intelligence. Is that what's concerning you, that those kind of so-called CE5 events, which are allegedly attracting the phenomenon, engaging with a non-human intelligence, the risk you see as a Christian is that might be demonic?
So I'm glad that Ross did this, by the way. Applause for a little copyright. Because I think everybody watching was like, he's talking about CE5. He's talking about CE5. I'm glad that Ross went up and asked him to clarify. And then this is what he said in response to that.
Yeah, he went right in for it, man.
I do. It's just the power of suggestion. I have a friend and that does some of this, and I've seen them just gradually drawn in to this type of belief. And to me that's very disturbing. That's very disturbing. And I hear members of Congress talk about the demonic suggestion of this type of activity. So I try to stay afar. I don't, as I've stated many times, my main concern is what are we spending tens of millions of dollars on? If they tell me this thing, if it doesn't exist, why do we keep spending money? And then why won't they issue the reports to member of Congress? That's been my major concern with this. And as I've delved into it, I've found out about this community, and it is a growing community.
Well, there we go. There you have it. What do you think, Tupa?
I think it's been widely talked about now for a while that there are a lot of people in government that have religious beliefs, and they look at this topic under a religious lens, as they do a lot of other topics that are like socio-political, technological, all that stuff. So I'm not surprised at all by it. And I'm glad that they're having a real conversation about it back and forth without using like hints or, you know what I mean, like weird language. They're being very direct. And I really got to commend Ross Coulthart for this, and for Tim Burchett for being so candid here.
Yeah, totally got to agree. Let's we got some time today, right? We only have like really 2 stories. Let's watch this because this is the other end, right? Because we've been hearing congressmen say, these things might be angels. So let's just watch that real quick. This is kind of the flip side of it, right? Is this demon stuff? Let's see where we at here.
Oh, we're bringing it way back.
Bringing it way back. So the interview you did, right?
Well, this is the first one. The one I did is later on when I actually got to talk to Burleson. But yeah,
this is that UFO podcast. Shouts out, friend of the show, Eric Burleson, also a friend of the show. Did not recently say Tupa slandered him, but here was his initial thing.
To get here and invest all that time to get here and energy to get here, and then they crash. I don't buy it. I do think though that it's more likely. At least unless someone can give me evidence otherwise, I think it's more likely that it would be something extra dimensional than it would be within this dimension. And so what I'll say is that when you start talking about things in that nature, that they're extra dimensional, well, in a lot of different scriptures, including the Bible and others, that's really the way that you describe messengers of God, or angels. And so they may not fit exactly the biblical narrative, but whenever I use the term angels, to me it's synonymous with an extra dimensional being.
Well, there you go. Do you want to maybe tell the people, Tupa, what CE5 is?
Yeah. Okay. So CE5, CE stands for Close Encounter. It was, based on the original 4, essentially, classifications on this Close Encounter scale, developed by J. Allen Hynek. And so Stephen Greer, over the years of working towards disclosure from the late 90s all the way on, developed this other thing. I don't know how he did it or why he did it, but essentially it's a protocol that allows you, it's singular or in groups, to attempt to make contact with aliens. And they typically show up in like orbs of light in the sky, and Greer will take people out into camping trips and whatnot in the desert or wherever, and then they'll like work on it. People like Demi Lovato and a lot of other people, celebrities and whatnot, have gone out in the desert and had a great time with them and believe this, that aliens are trying to contact us and are in contact with us through these telepathic means. And it's not that far out the realm of typical ufology, but it does have its own classification that he coined called CE5.
Yeah, and I got this pulled up. This is some classic vintage Greer. So you get at Skyfire News. We do the deep dives on the fly.
Oh, we're deep diving.
We both got the archives on it. We both got archives on archives.
On archives.
UFO Disclosure Project 1994.
No dossiers, though.
No dossiers here. Before Greer was famous. I think he talks about C5 in here. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's been his shtick for like ever. Like he says he CE5'd Phoenix Lights. So
dang.
In California, Dr. Stephen Greer, surgeon, is leading an expedition into the desert.
Surgeon.
No telescopes, no computers. The tool is telepathy. The goal, a very close encounter.
The close encounter of the 5th kind is a significant new category because it's the first category where humans are making an initiative to contact and interact with these objects. I mean, after all, this is our home planet. If these are visitors from other planetary systems, I think it would behoove the citizens of this planet to find a way of saying, welcome here. And take something, I don't care if it's a flashlight, and try to signal to it and try to get it to land and try to interact with it, if they, of course, have the courage and the will to do so.
I'm just going to pause it real quick here because I don't know what's up with this video's copyright thing. But looks like a fun time, right? Going out to the desert with the bros. Oh yeah, here's one we didn't get to the other day. Why don't you go ahead and read it off, and then we'll get back to the clip.
Right on. So it says CE5, Close Encounter of the 5th kind. It's human-initiated contact, or HICE. There's methods included meditation. Obviously, that's out in the mix. Probably just get a little Irie out there too. Often organized events. He's behind those organized events typically. Advocates peaceful communication. That's true. Coined by Dr. Stephen Greer. I like how I fact-checked my own series of facts. But it's that's it, and it's in there, right? It's stuck in the lexicon now. We can't get rid of it.
People and he's in the 94 talking about it. So
I didn't realize it went back. I didn't realize it went that far back, dude.
This is like really 6-7 years before his big thing, right? Disclosure Project.
This is awesome.
Also, pause. We got Stephen Greer in the chat says, "Don't forget to buy my app, guys." So we'll talk about that. This is exactly what Burchett's talking about. So let's
primary in the event that there's a landing and an opportunity to go on board. You will come on board, okay, John? and you need to stay behind to document that. I'll be boarding party member
Denim
number 1.
Dan over here.
We can just go around 2, 3, 4. Skip you.
That's a meme. There's a meme there. Hold on. Skip you. Oh, it's funny.
I'll be boarding party member number 1. We can just go around 2, 3, 4. Skip you.
And it just takes all the girls.
And you'll stay behind.
Right? Oh my
If
god.
there's a close approach, you understand you'll go and set up the landing, mark out the area with the lights. The problem I have with the scientists in SETI listening for microwave signals from deep space is that when they're already landing on terra firma, on this Earth, and are being reported by people and governments all over the world, I think it would behoove us to look in our own atmosphere before we start looking at millions of light years away. I do think that in the next 2 to 5 years that we will have a landing and that we will go on board. I made plans for
I
this.
hope, huh?
Quite frankly, I've transferred all my assets to my wife's name. My children are aware of this.
I didn't realize he was like that in 94, dude. That's
What?
some like Heaven's Gate stuff, right? Like,
What?
I'm gonna be gone. I don't remember this part of Stephen Greer's lore. That's what we learn here on Scott Fry News.
It's something that I have taken a great deal of time to plan.
So just before we get back to this is what Burchett is talking about when he's like, there's groups of people who go out to the thing. He's talking about this, and we'll just pull this up.
There is a movement in the UFO.
So yeah, what do you think, Tupa?
If there's a way to, if there's a connection or a way to, to contact aliens telepathically, and they're out there doing it, and it's in any way related to what people are experiencing on the day to day or what the military is experiencing, I think that says a lot about what this phenomena is, and it's weird. That's what I think. Yeah,
I'll say this. I kind of understand where Burchett's coming from. I don't know if I'd say demon, but I always say this in spaces, right? To me, CE5, and I know there's plenty of people, Astral, friend of the show, swear by it. That actually might be cool to pull up. If we prepared more. He was actually on Vice talking about CE5. You remember that? You ever see that, Tupa?
Yeah. I forgot about that. Astro was on Vice.
He was on Vice, yeah. It might be worth looking up. I'm just gonna look it up. Fuck it. But on
Vice talking about heist, yo.
My point being that the CE5 stuff, you never know what you're working with. And I actually said this on the show the other day when we were talking about why did Elizondo call Greer a terrorist? And I was thinking, like, what are the possible reasons he could call it like that? Because I think you're just kind of opening yourself up to whatever it is out there. It's like a Ouija board, right? But like you're doing it blind. You don't even know. People don't even know what bad could come on it. I don't even think there's a disclaimer on the app, right? This is like, hey, and I've heard people.
Hey, this might bring demons in your life.
I've heard people say like, hey, I was all into this stuff. I was into UFOs. I decided to try CE5. Before you knew it, my whole family's getting like weird haunted stuff, right? So what do you make of that? I don't know. This is what I say. I call CE5 a truck stop glory hole. You never know what you're going to get there. You're just kind of putting yourself out there for whatever is in the vicinity to come get you. So.
That was a graphic analogy, but it's maybe apt. Speaking of which, Stephen Greer has an app. Hit that up, guys, if you're interested. I've never tried it. I'm kind of with Burchett here. I think it's reasonable to be cautious. We don't know what this is yet. Why would you want to make contact with it? I mean, are you Jodie Foster in the movie Contact? I don't know. Even she was weirded out. I wouldn't want to do it. I'm out. I'll document people doing it though. Do you think that if you're around it when someone else is doing it, that like the hitchhiker effect might happen to you?
I totally think so.
That's
totally think so. And they actually touched on that a little bit in that interview too. If you want to riff on the hitchhiker effect, it might be worth covering. I didn't clip it for the feed, but it was interesting because they talked about how basically, because Burchett was also, I think you could see there's a cut here. He was on with like this guy on the right. He wrote this book called The Extraterrestrials and the Vatican or something like that. And he's some kind of like religious scholar dude. And he was kind of like on with Burchett the entire interview, and they were all kind of shooting the stuff there, right? So yeah.
You want me to talk about what's it called? The Hitchhiker effect?
Yes.
Yeah, so like I don't know, it's such a weird thing, but essentially people who have experiences tend to kind of like have like something carry over onto into their normal life. It changes something about them. I likened it to, like and this might be kind of a weird visual, but these tuning forks. There's these thing called tuning forks, and if they're tuned to the same note, if you hit one and it's around the other one will begin to resonate with it. It's called sympathetic resonance, but it only happens if they're tuned to the exact same note. So it's almost like that, like some kind of something with the experience changes your vibes, changes something about you, some makeup about it, about how you perceive things, about how things are perceiving you, and that like might be contagious. We don't know. I mean, we honestly have no idea what it is, but it happens so often. People who are near or around other people who had a paranormal experience, they not tend to, but they can have the experience follow them, they say. So no matter where they are, it's like happening. And again, we don't know what it is. So it's hard to say like how or why it happens, but it does happen and it's worth talking about.
Yeah. And before I play the clip, Aussie Tiger in the chat says, smash that like button. Yes. If you're listening now, if you're in the chat, if you're listening from the future, like the button. Oh yes. And Langagay says, is Skyfire covering the Nazca Mummies event tomorrow? We will do that. We might even live stream it. We got hopefully Michael Mazzola coming in soon to talk about it. He's going to be there. Maybe we could get him tomorrow or Saturday.
Oh, but, yeah, that'd be great.
Here's the part about, and mind you, this is the guy who Burchett brought on with him to talk with Ross. He's the one mainly talking about it. But then actually also I forgot, there's this other part where they talk about Grush's Vatican claims. And since we only have 2 stories, I say let's do it.
Which people have encounters that sure fit the classic diabolical profile. I'll just mention one that I was listening to a podcast. Won't mention his name, but someone well known in the community who had been involved with Skinwalker Ranch and these things, and talking about the so-called hitchhiker phenomenon. And he says that at one point, if I'm not misrepresenting him, that the thing kind of inside was invisible, seized him, and he began to speak through his mouth with a voice that wasn't his. That's kind of a classical profile of Christian.
Can we pause that real quick and maybe just run it back?
I'm not saying he was possessed.
That was a little wild, wasn't it?
Something was using him. Something was using a person as a mouthpiece, literally.
And well known. Is that Lakatsky? Didn't something like that?
People have encounters that sure fit the classic diabolical profile. I'll just mention one that I was listening to a podcast. Won't mention his name, but someone well known in the community who had been involved with Skinwalker Ranch and these things, and talking about the so-called hitchhiker phenomenon. And he says that at one point, if I'm not misrepresenting him, that the thing kind of inside was invisible, seized him, and he began to speak through his mouth with a voice that wasn't his. That's kind of a classical profile.
How can he deliver that sentence so flat and then be like, yeah,
well, it's
like that kind of stuff.
He's a Catholic theologian, so he's about to tell you why he's about to tell you why that's so mundane to him, kind of in his delivery.
Oh shit!
Christian thinking that would be diabolical, demonic possession. I'm not saying he was possessed, but I am saying things like that give people reason to, concerns. The abduction phenomenon in certain ways can seem like diabolical possession. My point is this: I think probably there is some overlap. We've got a lot of things going on here with regard to UAP, and I think there is some overlap. That there are.
To think there was no overlap is almost like overzealous in the other way, right? Like to be like they're all angels and demons, and to be like none of them are angels and demons, or low-key like the same.
Well, yeah, and then like we don't really know, there's no book that I know of that tells us what an angel's made out of or what a demon is made out of. Like there's no taxonomy to that degree. We don't, so is it a real thing? Like we can't sit here and use those phrases. I think like it's a scientific word. We have to acknowledge that these are all left up to interpretation, and we're describing very vague things that we know very little about, unless you're in the Vatican.
Yeah. All right, let's get this last little part from this interview that was interesting. Rep Chet's asked about Grush's claims, and remember, he went on Rogan, and he basically said that a lot of the similar train of thought of Peter Levenda's books, I think. that he went on Rogan and said that basically Mussolini, this was his claim that he says he got while working on the UAP task force. There was a downed UFO in fascist Italy in like 1932, 33. The Italians and Germans somehow linked up over that, not solely for that. They were working on reverse engineering it together, blah, blah, blah. After the war, apparently the Vatican somehow got a hold of it, and that's how the U.S. found out about it. So let's see what happens.
Congressman Burchett, Tim Burchett, I know that you've met with David Grush, that your oversight committee has heard evidence from David Grush, I think also in private hearings. And one of the allegations that former intelligence officer with the NRO, NGIA, David Grush makes is that the Vatican was involved during the Mussolini regime in assisting the transfer of alleged non-human technology, a craft of some kind that was allegedly recovered at Magenta in Italy in 1933, and that technology was transferred on to the US government secretly at the end of World War II. What do you think about that allegation? Do you find it plausible that the Vatican, a religious organization, would be involved in such a transfer?
I think anything's plausible. We've had multiple incidences when the CIA has now come forward and said, and it's been reported actually, that they have a recovery unit. What the heck are they recovering? I think that says more about it. The Catholic Church, there's a lot of mysteries there. I'm not a Catholic. I've got a lot of friends that are Catholic, and my best friend is, as a matter of fact. So I don't doubt any of this. I think it's very plausible. I've looked into that a little more than I'm telling you. And I've talked to people that are in the know that actually think that is legitimate. But again, until somebody produces the saucer or the body, it doesn't exist.
Burchett's tired of the Trust Me Bros too.
We're all tired.
We're all tired of the Trust Me Bros. And just because we are thorough here, here's a little bit of Grush on Rogan talking about that.
So
we're going to pause it a lot.
This is obviously...
And then we got to move on. We got to
move on. There's only a few people that know about this information, and they're not allowed to discuss it with other people.
Rogan, that's what Burchett was just asked about, and he said he believes it, and people he knows that are in the know believe it. So there's that.
Dude. Well, let's get into it, man.
Let's get into the next story then.
The UFO civil war is really happening. Something's going on.
Oh,
there was a big debate, dude. There was a big debate yesterday, and then it ended up being a nothing burger, because literally like UAP Mike versus Lou Jimenez, or Lou Reviews, dude. They've been on each other's throats forever. These two guys have literally been like dissing each other, throwing each other under the bus, making wild claims about each other, saying the worst stuff, even throwing their loved ones and whatnot in the mix too. It got real down and dirty. Now they were going to get into a debate. All right. Someone was finally like, hey, let's just have them debate. Let's have them talk. That was UFO intros. He actually paid these guys. He promised them money. Said, listen, per hour or a flat rate or whatever. I don't know what they worked out, but paid them. So they get in there. They get over their like little opening statements. While they're going in their first back and forth, Lou Reviews uses UAP Mike's full name, causing UAP Mike to literally back out of the debate right then and then just leave. He was gone. He deactivated his account, came back on as a sock puppet. Both of them held their own separate spaces, just talking mad trash with each other or about each other. It was kind of a crazy day, but then that led to a lot of fractures in the community that have been holding strong for quite some time. Red, do you want to get into that? Because that's really interesting.
Sure. Yeah. So as y'all know, UAP Mike and KMF, and they have this little weird group, and it's like Stupa said, what is this up here? A little bit of a civil war going on, right?
Uplifting tweets, guy.
Uplifting tweets, and we're all kind of watching to see how it's going to develop, and it looks like they're all turning on UAP Mike and his wife. I don't even like seeing this or saying it, but now UAP Mike now KMF and Carlos are accusing Cosmic Dahlia of cheating on Mike and saying she has an addiction to drugs. They're pulling out all the stops on them. And
dude, we should pull those tweets up, dude. Those are wild.
Should we pull those up?
Dude, this has all been going on X. There have been I don't know how you call it, slanderous. They've been accusing each other of being on drugs, which is kind of a common thing. Okay, so why are we talking about these guys? Why are we just letting trolls be trolls? What makes them different? What makes them stand out above like other people? Why is it even a thing? Well, not only are they in the UFO community and kind of like loud voices, some of them have connections to like, I don't know how you'd call it, but like, I guess the upper, like a lot of people that you see on TV, a lot of the people that you see on like Rogan and whatnot, they end up being connected to these guys. And you're like, well,
here's
what's
a great
going
question.
on there?
Tuba, do you have Lou Elizondo or Jeremy Corbell's phone number?
No.
Yeah, all the people at the center of this little beef do, you know what I mean? And one of them actively makes memes for Jeremy Corbell's website or for his show. And Matt Ford, the Good Trouble Show, makes his thumbnails. And yeah, this is wild. They both deleted their accounts. Should we read what some of these things say?
Yeah, like why? Yeah, because it gets kind of crazy.
Okay.
Kent, Drama Central. We love having you here, Kent.
Ken, what's your prediction on this UFO hate group civil war? What's going to be the next development? I have Jack Sarfati's email address. Oh, lucky you. Mind you, these people have been running ops together for like years. So now Carlos says, Cosmic Dahlia slurs her words because of all the dick she sucked. And not Mike's, unfortunately. Maybe UAP Mike can start banging her again at some point, if he can. Doubtful, though. So she can stop being such a nasty piece of crap. IDK, Keemstar may have been correct about her being in other DMs. Milkfart says, I honestly cannot believe no one has tried to pull her aside about her Oxycontin addiction.
Damn!
I do not support this harassment of UAP Mike and his wife.
We
as bad as they might have been in the past, yeah, that's kind of the update there. We're just kind of waiting to see. There were some big reveals yesterday in Mike's space where he was like, Leia Prime, who's on the show Calling All Beings and who used to be on the show Invisible Night School. He was like, she collects dossiers on people. She has dossiers on all these people.
Well, I mean, this is interesting because essentially what's being said now in this circle is that there was a person kind of posing as someone to be in love with a bunch of these dudes who are in ufology who like kind of simped for her, right? So like, okay, big deal. But now it's it seems to be kind of like a deal breaker for some of these guys in this little civil war where like they're now outing this woman for having been such a, I don't know, a friend to so many people. So weird. And like, is it possible that there are people on UFO Twitter, just in the topic alone in the community, completely posing as something completely like not representing who they really are? Are they lying? Are there like spies in here? It seems so corny that would happen, but then you hear these stories. This isn't the first time we've heard stories like this about people that this is going on and has gone on. It's I don't know. And then it's one of those things you theorize about, but then just have the people that are involved in the inner circle kind of lay it all out is kind of wild.
Leia tried sliding. Oh, UFO Hunter says Leia tried sliding into my DMs. Sucks how many people we've heard that from, but you know what I mean?
Kind of a lot.
Yeah, I don't know how deep you want to get on that tonight, but we could read the Cambion Discord if you want. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think it's wild that there's things like that happening. I can't really verify or speak to the veracity of it, but the fact is that that's what's going on. Again, we wonder like, okay, who are these people? Why are we talking about them? But if you really look into it, like the way it's kind of like who follows KMF, who just accused this woman of being on pills. Doesn't Lou Elizondo follow that guy? It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and what you have to understand is Lou has called this couple multiple times. So you know what? We're talking about it. Here's what I suspect is going on. For whatever reason, they're trying to like oust UAP Mike and Cosmic Dahlia. I don't get it. But there was this tweet too. Linda Thompson was talking mad crap about them today too, and she served as a spokesperson for Lou twice this past year on two separate occasions. So, and KMF, the worst serial harasser who Lou's followed multiple times, he was silent on this actually, right? It was kind of like people were like, which way is he going to go? He hasn't talked about it. He's gone, like, as we just showed, he's come out full force against UAP Mike and his wife. I think they're basically begging Mike to go whistleblower right now, is what they're doing.
Go whistleblower.
Go whistleblower. Mike, if you watch this, dude, they're doing all the things y'all do to everyone to you now. It's not fun. I disavow, but I want you to know if you decide to go full whistleblower, you're more than welcome here. We got your back. Bro, did we not manifest whistleblower UFO Shane and then have his back after?
Our guy UFO Shane, we miss him. He might be working right now. But like, yeah, Mike really does need to, I guess, figure it out, because the stuff that he's claiming he saw and that he says that he knows about, it's either going to end up being more trust me bro stuff, or it's going to pan out to be one of the most craziest stories that's happened to ufology in a long time. I mean, the word or the reference to Benowitz and Doty has come up more than once, and that's of course a weird psyop where someone was convinced that like what they were seeing was UFOs because what they were filming from their home was actually military secret, like craft and whatnot. So he got psyoped by a man named Richard Doty. And now we're looking at possibly more of this happening right now in real time. Very bizarre.
But here's because Gang in the chat was like, not Linda, because like I said, this girl served as Lou Elizondo's spokesperson. Mary Misanthrope, another one of these goons that's out here harassing people, says, because Mike is a man-child, he's mad because his former friends would not agree with him on every miserable, enraged word spewed forth from his gaping maw. Mike cannot tolerate dissent. He does not understand nuance or compromise. You're either with him or a Nazi. Linda Thompson says, I can guess who you're talking about. He has driven away many abductees and experiencers away. He doesn't give up. Mike, if you're watching this, they're setting you up to be the fall guy right now, dude. They all are. Come on, Skyfire. Let us know what's been going on these past few years. We know you talked to Lou. We know you know what's up with KMF and Lou. We know you know about all this like weird behind the scenes stuff, dude. They are throwing you under the bus, bro. This is Linda Thompson, Lou Elizondo's spokeswoman, more or less, saying this goes back years for you. They're trying to put back years worth of stuff on you too.
Hey, real quick. We're moving kind of faster. Tell us about Linda Thompson and how she's Lou Elizondo's spokesperson.
Shoot. Let me see. Let me find this real quick. But basically, on two separate occasions, one was in written form, one was in on a stream, which I'm trying to find. Mm-hmm. She read a message from Lou to the community. So Lou actually sent her a message, and then she delivered it on behalf of Lou. Correct. So that actually So there's some truth to that. Oh, this was funny too. This was after we. I don't even know. This is kind of long. Should we watch it? I mean, do you want to watch it? No. Okay. What is it though? What is it? She reads a statement from Lou about psyops on UFO Twitter. Okay. Actually, I think psyops on you. So again, guys, there's claims of psyops happening all day. Some of these accounts, they're not connected to the government, but some of them actually are. They intermingle, they discuss things, and then all of a sudden one of them makes these wild claims, and then like the suspicion goes around and round, and everyone's trying to figure out who the mole is because a DM got leaked, or who the spy is, or who's the Fed. And as much as it sounds like paranoid, whatever, right? You find out that some of these guys are actually working for the government or have worked for the government in some capacity, or in the one they're being accused of. So it gets it gets very strange. Here, I got the statement. Strange. I got the statement part isolated. Listen to Projection Lou here. Well, this is David Scott, Spaced Out Radio, which ties into our next story we're going to be covering with the whole Kurt Jaimungal stuff. He was actually supposed to be at that Canada thing, but yeah. Well, before we move on, before we open to that, we got to cover this one, right? We can't throw more names at these guys. Dave Scott. He's a host of a show called Spaced Out Radio. He just talks about Bigfoot, UFOs, all things paranormal. Really interesting show, laid back, late night. We got Linda Thompson. She was just in those tweets. She was the one saying whatever she was saying, this wild stuff, right? So like now this is her delivering a message on behalf of former ATIP director, supposedly Lou Elizondo.
I mean, there's so much going on, and there's so much going on behind the scenes that good and bad. And so I did get a statement from Lou tonight, and he said I could share it and that I could tell people it was from him. So that's Lou Elizondo, correct? Yes, Elizondo. He said the biggest threat to the study of UAP remains the deliberate hijacking of the narrative and the topic by fraudsters. The ironic part is that certain elements in the U.S. government point to these sideshow barkers as a reason not to take UAP seriously. And in a very weird way, those who claim they want the truth from the American government are being used as ammunition by the government to discredit the topic. So,
what do you think of that, Tupa?
I think that sounds great, you know.
Oh, also context. I think this was right after those Gary the Brave things broke, which I don't know, maybe we should cover, but just for you, I mean.
No. I think we got to go at a real snail's pace with a lot of our audience has no idea that this kind of stuff was even happening behind the scenes, or that debate, the roots of that debate go this far back. And so we got to let's take them on a journey. Let's bring it slow. So like this woman delivering a message for Lou is interesting because Lou has his own Twitter account. Why do you think that he would deliver the message through someone like Linda Thompson? Why not just deliver it himself, right? What do you think's behind that?
I don't know. I think he likes to keep a little bit of a buffer between him and some of these little weird ops. Although, to counter that, we covered on the show, he's promoting his YouTube channel now. So maybe we're going to start seeing some like straight up live streams of just Lou. That'll be fun.
I bet his first appearance is on Merged with Ryan Graves, dude. That's my guess. That's my prediction.
I think it's going to be Disclosure tonight.
Oh my God.
Ben Friel, early friend and fan of the show, says, can we get a Cosmic Time soon? Of course we can do that. Let's do it.
Have patience on me. Don't give up on me. I'm on Cosmic Time.
Boom.
Bam. Dude, we are on Cosmic Time, man. We are. That's a really apt little meme.
But yeah, we can get Mike on soon, man, because this is, I know people who might not know the weeds of this. This is a huge development happening right now. There's about to be some DMs leaked. They're already saying we're whistleblowing. We're going to go whistleblower. And at first, I honestly thought it was a little bit of an act. You know what I mean? I thought they were maybe just trying to pull a fast one on us and be like, "Oh, you thought we were going to go whistleblower," but they're going below the belt with some of these things they're saying about Cosmic Dahlia and UAP Mike. That I just don't. It feels very real. Yeah.
I've been sent. Red, we've been sent some DMs. And I can't share them, but I just want you guys to know that's what's happening right now. We'll see if we can get these cleared. These are interesting. These are interesting. That's all I can say for now. Again, this is story.
Becomes a trust me, bro.
Dude,
wow, Tupa.
No. If we can, we will. But let's just say that, the story is developing, and we'll see how that pans out. Why are there factions like this? Why does Lou Elizondo insulate himself from his own fans or from the public by using these people to do this and deliver these messages that are kind of I don't know. Here we got PSYOP Queen. If you can't see the PSYOP, you are the PSYOP.
Welcome back, PSYOP Queen.
B says gatekeepers. Yeah, there's some element of that happening. But Lou Elizondo's been known to scold people before. I've seen him scold people with or ufology and as a whole. I saw him scold the whole field with his article, Ufology Must Die, which I thought was interesting. And then on Kurt Jaimungal. That's a good segue to the Kurt Jaimungal segment. So this actually just came out today, guys. Patrick from Vetted, our friend of the show, actually, he talked about this interview with Kurt Jaimungal and Richard Dolan. Richard Dolan's a really old school or a long time UFO researcher, while Kurt Jaimungal is a podcaster on YouTube, and he's great. He's a great dude. His interviews are awesome. He does science, ufology, paranormal stuff. He's done interviews with almost everyone you can imagine that you'd want to see him with. So go check out his channel, Theories of Everything. And so Patrick was talking about that, and some of the stuff that was said by Kurt was interesting about what he thought of ufology, why he hasn't made UFO content in 8 months or something.
8 months.
It's a long time. And then how he feels about the stuff that he's been promised versus what he's actually seen, and what he thinks about the Soul Foundation, what he thought about that what he saw when he got there. Sorry. But
you want me to, I could pull this up.
Yeah, we got a girl named Tom. Yeah, we love Dolan too. Dolan's really cool. But what was said was said. Nothing. He didn't say anything wrong here. It's just they're in that conversation. It almost seems like Dolan wants to kind of dull down, the severity of what Kurt is saying or even implying, but the cat's out of the bag on that. And the weird thing is that a lot of people who get close to the process, the disclosure process, a lot of the people who get close to it, they walk away with this feeling. They either become fully on board or fully out, to the point where now they're going to get kind of attacked. And attacked by who? Attacked how? That's what we're talking about this group for. That's what we're talking about, all this like drama. That's why this is interesting. The attackers are now fighting amongst themselves. We might get some truth spilled out from this. We don't know. But let's get over to the clip.
Yeah, let's get over to the clip. I got it right here.
Awesome.
And then we'll read some comments on what people want UAP Mike to do. People have some thoughts on that in the chat. But yeah, so here we go. We'll just play it and then we'll talk about it. Shouts out Vetted. Shouts out Theories of Everything. Shouts out Dolan.
All back. All right, so let's start with this one.
So my last UFO interview, my last interview with a UFO bigwig was 8 months ago. And in part, the reason for the lack of frequency with this topic is because I've backed away. I've backed away. Why? Because I'm disappointed and I'm dismayed. So the reason is that there's always the promise of some tangible governmental or scientifically sanctioned data that's just around the corner. There was the rumor of 40 new whistleblowers coming forward. It never panned out, but even if it was 140, then it's the next question is, so what? Because there's only so much that talking can do. And I see acrimony developing in the people who are involved in this scene. So I went to the Soul Foundation, the Soul Conference, and the most euphoric people there were the attendees. And like the rest of the people who are actually involved, they're calloused, they're embattled. And
let's pause it there maybe. What did you think of that, Tupa?
I really love that he said that. What a really apt observation, and how important that observation is. Like, people, like, let that sink in. All right. So the Soul Foundation, what the hell is that? All right. So the whistleblowers that are involved in this process that we've seen, some of them at Congress, David Grush, some of the people we see talking and talking about craft and all these programs and whatnot, along with the scientists that are involved and the philosophers involved and the researchers involved. They developed this company called the Soul Foundation, SOL, Soul Foundation. And they are aimed, obviously, at getting to the UAP truth. Well, what's the deal with that? Why is that super important? Like I said, they're like gathering up and collecting a lot of the whistleblowers. So they're in many ways poised to set the pace for the UFO research at an academic and scientific level. That's why it's important, right? So what Kurt just said is that when he went there at this invite-only event, it wasn't open to the public, and you couldn't take any photographs or pictures. It was very strict. So like, they went there. When Kurt got there, he said that the euphoria was in the audience, and that the people talking were more not upset, but they were more like, in battle mode, like they were fighting something, which is, this idea that they're constantly fighting against the stigma and also against the people just not taking it seriously as a whole. And this is a little compilation. They ended up releasing videos of their speakers later on, edited, of course, and put together well, I think by, or at least in part by, J. Christopher King, awesome dude. So there's there's this video, this event took place.
We don't have to play. I just wanted a visual there, right?
Avi Loeb, you got. He was a guy looking for Oumuamua, working at the Galileo Project. He wants trillions in funding. So I think for someone who's like, let's say Green Street goes to Seoul and walks away and delivers that message. Green Street is an active critic of the disclosure process. He does these interesting exposés on what he's found while researching people like Elizondo, Leslie Keene, Christopher Mellon, Jay Stratton. He really goes in, and all those names, if you don't know who they are, I really recommend you guys go into follow Skyfire News on Twitter, and then hit that like and subscribe button, because we'll keep you guys updated on all those people. You can go back and find out who these people are. And as interesting as the UFO topic is, right, an alien doesn't land every day. So this ends up becoming like a really interesting story about how the outlets of the media are really controlled or whatever. Because Kurt's a podcaster he lives in Canada, and he was asked by the Canadian government to essentially host or be part of the UFO discussion at a professional level. Right.
Yeah, and we'll play that real quick, but I want to just give my thoughts on that first part too. It shows the importance of why me and Tuba talk about this stuff, and people are like, "Oh, it's drama." How many of you guys love, if you're a UFO nerd, have loved a Kurt Jaimungal UFO interview? Does he not have some of the best ones, Tuba?
He has some of the best ones. I mean,
legendary.
his Pasolka one, Gary Nolan one, like it goes on. He's done multiple with Lou Elizondo, one with Lou and Sean Cahill, which is Lou's friend.
And he said he's saying he hasn't done one in 8 months because of this environment in this community, and because he sees people just get. He has a great quote coming up here. I think we'll just play it, but about what this subject and community does to people, and he just didn't want to be the next one it happened to, so he hasn't put out a video about UFOs for 8 months, dude. That's huge. That's such a loss on the community, right? But
he explains why.
He explains why. So let's continue.
Crazy.
I see this dyspeptic attitude also growing on the part of the UFO community for people who have been in it. Like, you can actually tell how long have you been in it by how bitter are you. So I see this jadedness developing in myself as well, and luckily I can identify it before it becomes something significant. So I've backed away, and there's just something about this topic that's not right, man. There's something about it.
It's always been like that. Yeah, no, I feel your pain. I get it. I get what you're saying.
Do you, Richard?
I'm trying to figure out, like,
do you, Richard? Do you really feel his pain? Richard's been in the game for how long? When it was his first book or open talk about the UFO topic? What was it? 94,
probably
2002. That's fine. Still a long ass time, right?
20 years at least.
It's always been like that. We're dealing with new media. Right, podcasts and stuff I think are like really new. YouTubing, like being able to like talk about this, get guests like at this caliber, I think is new. And Kurt isn't a customer, shouldn't be used to that. He should expect normal interactions with normal people talking about some serious topic. And he's saying that that's not what he saw. That's not what he saw.
Bro, that's our story too. We came in here we're both super nice guys promoting everyone, and look at how they treat us, dude. It's insane. I find it interesting that Dolan said that. I liked Richard Dolan. I still do. But I'm just gonna be honest, since we're talking about it, screw it. This whole weird little harassment operation that's being conducted right now is a litmus test for me for like basically everyone in the field.
What do you mean by that?
It's very clear what's happening at the very least, whether you want to tie it to some of the bigger names like me and Tuba suspect highly. Or not, there is very clearly a group. Ross Coulter's talked about it. Project Unity's talked about it. Black Vault's talked about it. Lou Reviews, even though I don't really like him, he's talked about it. And like the people who don't talk about it, should we just name names? Like that UFO podcast, right? They never talk about it. They get access to all these people.
Before we name these names, right? Because I think anyone can really go and dig this up. What are some of the similarities between them, right? Let's say there's
they all push the same narrative.
Who do they have access to?
They all have access to the same people. Lou Elizondo, Gary Nolan. And I'm not saying that those guys are necessarily bad, although Lou, but they all
regardless of their intentions, regardless of like, their character, even like what they're doing or why they're doing it, there is that truth that their like access to these people holds a lot of weight in this community. That the people you mentioned, Gary Nolan, these celebrities, these UFO celebrities, right? That seem to be in the know, they are limiting their access, whose show they go on, and they're being very careful about it. Like very careful, right, Red? Like it's not like, I mean, they block people who disagree. There's all kinds of things happening. It's not just like, hey, we don't like that narrative, we just won't go. I mean, a lot of things happen that are in the negative as a result of these judgments. Like you see open harassment take place. You see like, calls for a tribunal. Wait a second. What is this? Hold on. We got a breaking news here. What is Keemstar? What is Drama Alert talking about?
Is Jamie McGowan?
Sorry, that was bad timing. That's terrible timing.
What's going on here? Why is Jeremy McGowan going to Mike's house, guys? Can the chat let us know? Keem, what's going on?
What is this about?
What's happening?
Is this more of Mike being like, "Now I got to get a gun because Jeremy McGowan said he's going to be on the East Coast somewhere"? So I mean, this is wild. Mike has been known to exaggerate. You look like you were in a rave real fast, Red. We like that.
Oh, really? Cool. Should we play a little bit more of this?
Yeah. Okay.
Burned.
Play some more of that.
Also
We're gonna
burned.
check this out.
I'll play it. Yeah.
So I don't know.
How?
Maybe I'll keep this in. Or maybe I'll take this out. I don't know. But the approximately 1 or 2 years ago, there was this Canadian government association, something that was supposed to develop between the Canadian government and the USA UFO people who have knowledge. I won't say who, but Grant Cameron was involved in this, and people, if you're watching, you can ask Grant himself. It's just not my place to speak
I'm gonna
about
play
this.
the clip. Don't worry.
But there was an MP called Larry McGuire who wanted to host a panel again between the MPs.
Wow, Tuba, are you seeing the group chat? I guess we should cover that now. But we're almost done. We'll finish this clip because it's kind of important. Then we'll get back to that.
In Canada, and then the bigwigs. And I was part of the Canadian government requested that I be a mediator because of my background in physics and the fact that I'm Canadian.
So real quick, Kurt's talking about, and we've talked about this before on the show too. And we talked about it in our spaces before too. This is a known thing where the Canadian government was like going to do some like public hearing type stuff, and then there's two narratives here. It fell through, and both parties blame each other. The Canadians include Grant Cameron, Theories of Everything, Dave Scott, who we just saw Linda Thompson give a statement from Luan.
Red, this is too salacious.
All right,
okay?
let's break it. Go.
This is wild. Okay, so check this out. This is close I can get it. All right, I'm gonna try to get this as large as I can. This is Osiris. This is Jeremy McGowan. All right, so what I'm playing now is a screen recording posted by, I think it's Pepper Goes In. So we have this thing.
Shouts out, Pepper.
This is his tweet. We'll read it for you. Outside of the UFO world, I have a life, Jeremy McGowan says. Aside from being a program manager at a defense contractor, I am an avid sports shooter. I used to shoot competitively in the USAF. I load my own custom ammo. Okay. This is some suppressed subsonic 5.56. I dialed in the action on the oh my god. Okay, so that I'm glad that just ends there. We don't have to watch that. So okay, here he is shooting. This was 18 hours ago. All right, 5 hours ago he says, well, here comes a 3-hour flight flying from Vegas to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Have a few folks I need to see. ... All right, there's Assassin's Creed, small plug. Okay, friend of the show. We have halfway through the flight to Pittsburgh, so many empty seats. Must be flying Boeing. Okay, just landed in Pittsburgh. He says an hour ago. Think I'll go for a walk. Heard the Mount Washington area is good for that sort of thing.
Wow.
So I guess that's kind of why.
I disavow that, Jeremy, even though you blocked us.
Wait. Are these connected? Is he implying what I think he's implying?
I don't think he's actually. I think he's making a joke, but in this community, jokes like that, there's just so many crazy people in this community. Like a joke like that is not even funny. Like that's
but
Jeremy.
What about this like weird ad? The plug, Assassin's Creed. Isn't that weird? Okay, beyond the conspiracy.
Oh, that is kind of weird, huh? Wow, I didn't hear it like that. Whoa, dude, damn.
So he just now, okay, so we're going to follow this story right now. Jeremy McGowan is in Pittsburgh. We'll watch.
He just landed an hour ago. Yeah, we'll keep you guys up to date. Oh, we got a new member. Oh,
shout out to our new member,
Gabriel Lundez or Gabrielle.
I've seen Gabrielle in here for in the chat for a while. It's good to see you, man. Awesome.
Good to see you become a member, bro. Let's click the thing real quick. Where we at? Where's the thing? Did we take that out?
Oh no, we didn't. We just have 1,000 things now.
Okay.
Here's our song.
The nowadays I'm all about the fatty. You better get some. Too busy hating, ain't getting none. Me, I'm all about the fatty. Ain't getting none. Me, I'm all about the fatty. Yeah, they ain't ready for.
Dude.
Woo!
Awesome.
Heck yeah.
Awesome. This is breaking news. We don't know what Jeremy's gonna do. We really, really don't. And just thank you, Gabriel. Thanks for being here. The show rocks. It's awesome, bro. Like, this sounds kind of crazy, dude. Like, this is how nasty it gets on UFO X. Okay, this is literally how it gets. People implying that they're going to do all this stuff, and now we have the story. All right, so we're going to keep you guys posted as it develops. So far, that's it for now. When it comes down to that exchange. Do you follow McGowan, Red?
1 second. Yeah, I actually know he blocked me because that whole thing that went down the other day. But I'm trying to pull up. I mean, I guess since this is the hot topic right here, right?
It really is.
Let me see. I just don't want to like. Is there a way I could? Oh yeah, I could share this tab instead. I can see what it looks like. Okay, cool. This is might as well. This is uplifting tweets in Lou Review Space talking about his whole situation with UAP Mike. I mean, we're covering it. Might as well just cover it thoroughly. And this is kind of what we're talking about, where it's like these weird divides are happening. Where now uplifting tweets is in Lou Review Space, kind of like growing out with them. So
yeah, I'm sure they're crying. I'm sure they're having a space of very, very upset.
Yesterday,
it's a little low.
We'll go to you, and then back to all things.
Hey, first, I just want to say thank you for unblocking me. I totally get why you'd be hesitant. You know why. I know why. Whatever.
Hold on a second. Wait a second. Because this, honestly, I've been waiting for this moment for a while. Please don't write it off as you know why. Can you explain to
No, I wasn't done yet. Yeah, I will certainly explain that. And
okay.
I also want to explain why I'm here. I'm not going to go into that into detail. I just want to share my fucking horror experience this past few days with Mike. And echo some things I heard you say years ago that I always thought were fucking crazy. Number one being, I remember you clearly being like, UAP Mike's the kind of guy that would show up to a UFO conference with a gun. And when I first heard you say that, I was like, he's fucking crazy, man. Why would you say that? And I'll be honest with you, these last 4 days, my experience, I've just stayed silent and watched as these fucking lunatics have just, crafted lie after lie after lie about me. And I just sit back and I watch it and I'm like, you know what? And then they make threats to so many fucking people and everyone stays silent because they're scared of them because they don't want to be the next target. I guarantee you, what's his face? The guy that held that last one, Kimball, he's next on their list. He's fucked. They're gonna be coming after him like you wouldn't believe. And that's how these sickos.
Well, did they already come after him after some messages that he had in a private chat? Like,
so look, Kimball is really pissed about that. And for those that don't know it, I'll just give you that story if you have a minute. I mean, we can just sit here and chat if you want.
Man,
all right.
Let's chat.
So, sorry, and look, no, let me go back to the other thing. Hey,
Red, can you pause it real quick? Okay, the guy talking, that was uplifting tweets, correct?
Correct.
Uplifting tweets, that's his name, or fettuccine split. It's these dumbass handles are going to be the death of me, dude. Like, so he does like the graphic design work and is a friend of Jeremy Corbell. And it's not just some weird backroom show, although I didn't know that until Jeremy Corbell, after uplifting tweets, again, the guy talking right now, he got his account suspended for buying bots to support a parody account he made to harass another Twitter user who was talking about, criticizing Jeremy Corbell, right? So the person, so like this guy attacks the people who criticize his friend Jeremy, and now he's over here talking about how other people are doing this. How deep does this go? Are they attacking each other? Are the attackers defending themselves? Do they actually feel like they're the victims here? What's going on?
Let's play a little more.
Address Lou and say I totally get it. I have definitely, anyone listening here, I've made memes that are offensive towards Lou, not just Lou. I've also included Michelle and stuff. So I'm not here to like deny that. I've done it. I'm not a perfect fucking person. But again, I think a lot of people look.
That's huge, by the way. Because this is something this group does. This one, y'all, if you think it's drama, don't worry. Come back to me in like 5 years. But this is they make memes about people using people's family that have nothing to do with the UFO topic. So uplifting tweets is one admitting to doing this and apologizing for it. This is, I guess the best way to put it, there's a lot of weird moves happening with this group right now that I still don't really know where to place it. But I guess let's continue a little bit.
At my account and think uplifting tweets is some love and light shit. Like I get so many messages from these older ladies that are like, hey, I don't understand why you're so negative. You don't fucking get it. I'm here to have fun. Like this is what I'm here for.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if you've been on the receiving end of that, Lou. I'll be honest with you. These past few days, man, I've never felt more connected to you since back when
he's here to have fun. And like the stuff that he's done and continues to do, like what does he consider fun? What does Jeremy Corbell's friend consider fun? Red, what are some of the things that he's done for fun?
He fed info to KMF about the children of people of UFO Twitter who do not have a platform that are just like
he's just having fun, guys. He's just having fun.
He makes memes of prominent debunkers.
Did he ever have a store on Etsy?
He had a store on Etsy that actually
what was he selling?
The doxing of your grandma. He put that on his shirt, and then he celebrated Lou Reviews' mental breakdown on his shirt.
Dude,
yeah,
for fun, Jeremy Corbell's friend put my grandma on a shirt and doxed her, and then decided to sell it on Etsy, dude. And when people found out, the Etsy store disappeared. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Hey, that's a crazy way to have fun. How's that working out, dog?
Listen to him now. After 4 days of being under UAP Mike's ire, listen to him now. 4 days.
When I used to watch UCR. Do I disagree with you on everything? 100%. Like, I would never have done what Mike did there. Like, what the fuck is the point in debating over UFOs? We know how you feel. We know how he feels. What the fuck is going to be like? Let's let you two go at it and talk about your personal beef. Like, that's what I came for. Mm-hmm. And the fact that what's his name, UFO Intros piece of shit, Kimball,
friend of the show,
fucking ended it and didn't let it continue. That showed me a lot. That he is actually like, I'm sorry, I'm getting all worked up. Let's calm down here.
I get it. No,
dude, there's a lot going on. So let's go back to that Kimball thing and what he's pissed about and what Kimball is referencing. Kimball is referencing a situation where he had a private group chat with like 3 people. I don't even remember who the fuck they were. And owns that company, nude. KMF, he's been after everyone. The fact that money's exchanged. You know, but yeah, it was dark because it's just wild. It's like wild person talking on the street. If I'm walking down the street in LA and there's a crackhead yelling at me, like, I'm not going to stop and debate with them, right? Like, the shit they're spewing is just garbage, and I just ignore it and keep rolling. And I also think it's a shit stain for like the pro-disclosure side. And what the fuck was he doing representing pro-disclosure side anyhow? It's a fucking embarrassment.
Talking about UAP Mike here, dude. Isn't this weird?
And sorry, I'm getting a little worked up here on UAP Mike. He's really got me sauced up these past couple days.
Can you be sorry to just stop you, Diamond. I want you to take a second to breathe here because I know exactly. I've been in those shoes. Can you be a little more specific about what has he been doing the last couple of days where you're like, oh yeah, I've heard that before. So that way people can understand like the things that I've said about this guy. When I tell you he would call me and he would call Mike and he would call Rather and he would just go on and on and on and on and on. And at one point, Mike said, I can't do this anymore, man. Like, and he was part of the reason why Mike quit the show. Like, because he couldn't deal with UAP Mike and all of this just incessant bullshit.
Yeah, it's a pattern of manipulation. That's what it is, Lou. And it's gone on for years. And unfortunately, I am very guilty of partaking in it. Because when I first came to fucking UFO Twitter, he was one of the first people I interacted with. Always good guy to me, you know, cool. Never had a problem. Yeah, it was fine, man. And like, honestly, everything from my perspective, other than him attacking my friends and like me being afraid to speak up about it because of watching his actions and the way he reacts.
You hear that, Tupa? Are you here still?
Oh, yeah.
Being afraid to speak out about it because he was afraid to get attacked. This is weird coming from them, isn't it? Isn't this so? I thought it was all an act.
Why is it weird? Walk us through why that particular take from them is so strange coming from them or from him.
Because they do this to everyone in the community, and he's still close with KMF and Carlos and Darren and all these other ones who are still doing it, but they're acting like Mike's the only one who's, and they've been friends with him doing this stuff for years. So Mike, again, I'm gonna look at the camera. Keem's gonna love this one. Looking at the camera, Mike, for you, bro. They're turning on you. They're saying years. Linda Thompson has used the word years. Uplifting Tweets has used the word years. They're gonna put all this on you, bro. Come on, Skyfire. Let us know what's going on, dude. I'm worried about you, dude. This is. If I was you, I'd be worried, dude.
If I could turn you away, Mike, I would find a way. I would take back all the things that I said to hurt you. And you'd say, if I could tell you Mike like I.
Goes hard. Mike has his own song over here. He needs to figure out. He needs to figure it out, dude.
When you do, like, have a minor disagreement with him, it's fucking insane. And the dude needs to get some clinical help. Like, seriously. So I've come these past few days. I've come to the conclusion that either he's having a manic situation going on. He's been very open about his family's history of mental.
Dude, now this is another thing that they do. They start to pretend to be like doctors, right? And now, dude, I'm not gaslighting you. I'm really concerned for your mental health because, I mean, doesn't it run in your family, bro? If someone says that to you on the internet, you can tell them to F off because that's bananas. This is banana. Like, you know, now he's like trying to, like, it's, you know, this is classic tactic too. That's why it's so strange to see it from people connected to such heights within the community. Like, you're gonna now attack his mental health and be like, you know, it must run in his family, dude. Like, that's low. That's lower than using his last name.
Ken Reynolds with a great insight here. We love Ken here. People who intentionally work to deceive others usually end up deceiving themselves. It was only a matter of time, too, but was it not? When you get a bunch of people with this kind of temperament and you're unleashing them on everyone else, you know?
It's a ticking time bomb.
That's why it's like, don't go. When you go into business with criminals, expect to be like criminalized, you know? But let's listen a little bit more, and then we'll probably close out here soon. We had
mental illness. I think that's either happening because he's attacking so many fucking people, or B, Kimball or someone is behind this, Keemstar, with money, trying to create division in the community. Now that sounds crazy.
Keem, did you hear that? Uplifting Tweets thinks you're paying Mike to do this. I don't know if you're still watching.
You're right, but if I was to get into the details, you probably wouldn't think it's so fucking crazy. But it's something I'm keeping my eyes on. And this is the only time you're going to even hear me talk about it. I find these fucking two to be despicable pieces of shit. And they're fucking losers, and they do nothing but sit around their fucking house all day, fucking spewing hate and being total pieces of shit. And
when
lie.
you say these two people, who do you mean?
Oh, his fucking wife. The one that sits in the spaces and goes ding ding ding, and like her only job is to fucking play music.
Yeah.
But anyhow,
hey,
I don't
pause this chat. One in the chat if you were intimidated by that. If that scared you, did that get you? Is he Tony Soprano, dude? Wild tough guy talk. Super weird. I'm going to send Uplifting a Twitter video. Sick.
He was saying he's down to come on soon, so maybe we could get him on soon and get his take on it. Dude, we sent him the link yesterday. He was like, schedule me, I'm down, but maybe we'll get him for tomorrow.
Why do these guys?
These are some crazy developments happening.
It is weird. Sometimes I just think,
what the fuck is this world? What have they done to us? What did they do to us? What the fuck?
We'll never know.
And real quick, just to show you all how weird this is, and pay attention to this language. This was 2 weeks ago. UAP Mike had Jeremy Corbell in his space 2 weeks ago, and Uplifting Tweets was the one who got him in there, right? So this is like something's going on. Let's just listen to the words. Listen to how Jeremy Corbell refers to this group.
Dude, real quick, drama alert. Get Uplifting Tweets on here right now, dude. Why not?
I mean, let's send the invite. Can you handle that, Tupa? Are you still blocked by him?
Dude, that fool. Hell, I'm permanently blocked.
I'll get it out. I'll get it out. Well, I play this.
Permanently blocked. Cool.
Yeah, hey guys, I just wanted to say real quick. So I had to pop in here. Really cool of you to host like the pregame for the episode. I recognize a lot of your icons. I don't usually jump in to these chats or whatever. I wish I could more. But I just want to say I listen to a lot of you, and I recognize a lot of your icons. I don't spend a lot of time on social media, but a lot of you have said some really smart things over the years. So I just wanted to come in and just say, look, we don't all have to agree on what UFOs are, what every UFO is, or like what UFOs mean to humanity. But I think we can all agree this is fucking important, right? Whatever this topic is important. And I think every voice, as long as people aren't just like negatively speaking to each other and causing unnecessary hassle, we're all on the same page. We're all trying to figure out what's up with UFOs. So really, this team of people you see here, even if you have different ideas on what it is, I'm just so glad you host this shit and you guys start talking. I'm getting ready for the show.
Look at all those hearts and 100s, huh?
But I just want to thank you, like all of you. I see so many faces in here, people that I recognize. I just want to say thank you guys for being fucking loud about this. because every inch, every millimeter, as you can see from that last error report, this is not some government conspiracy where they're trying to tell us that aliens are real to be afraid. You can tell now from that last report that we have fought for every millimeter, every inch. And a lot of that fighting has been done by you guys on X. So I just want to say thank you. And I'm pumped for the last episode of season 1.
Run that back 5 seconds.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah, it's
okay, you guys to be afraid. You could tell now from that last report that we have fought for every millimeter, every inch. And a lot of that fighting has been done by you guys on X. So I just want to say thank you. And I'm
We should go to Mike Turner's Twitter account.
Oh Lord. Yeah, give me a moment.
Yeah. If anybody out there wants to go to Mike
Turner's
Turner's
let's
Twitter
people,
account,
that's
go look at the kind of fighting that gets done on X on behalf of UAP activism. There is, I don't know, the fact that he went in there. Okay, so let's just imagine, right? UFO Late Group, UAP Mike, these are the same guys. This is a Mike burner account. So cool. Well, we have Jeremy Corbell popping in because Mike was going to randomly do a weaponized pre-show. Weaponized is Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp's podcast, okay? So before it premiered that day, UAP Mike opened up this space as like a pregame for the show. Jeremy Corbell just says he was just randomly strolling by and decided to pop in because that's cool. It's cool that they're doing that. So then everyone's alarm bells were like, this is corny as hell. Like, he didn't just randomly pop by. Why don't you just explain what happened? Well, we've been telling you guys that there's, a lot more of a formal connection between the upper tier of what you would call ufology and then the random users who are looked at sometimes as useful idiots or even like foot soldiers for some of these campaigns that go down. So then that suspicion was in the air. But wasn't it later confirmed by Uplifting that he's the one who got Jeremy Corbell to go into the space?
Yeah. So they tried to make it seem like it was totally random, but then this is something that Uplifting held over Mike's head apparently during this whole beef of like, bro, I just got you Jeremy Corbell. So very strange.
See,
Mike,
the access game is strange, bro. Like, it's not just that we're not just seeing it. Like, this is real. They're discussing how the access works, and it's just
the
such
apologies
a
from Uplifting tweets combined with everyone trying to put this all on UAP Mike again, they are patsing you right now, bro. Like, please make sure you got all your stuff in order, dude. They're trying to put years worth of stuff on you. It's looking like, to me at least. I don't know, too, but am I crazy in that? We got Uplifting tweets apologizing all of a sudden, right?
No, these guys, and again, this is going to sound strange, but a lot of these guys, like, they have connections to, there's an account that has continuously lied about you and I, particularly, right? About things that we've done or have never done, right? And then that those accounts are directly connected to the way up here. We're talking about like Tom DeLonge and whatnot, right? So like, there's a lot. These are the same
accounts going after people like Kirkpatrick, the NASA scientist.
Yeah,
again, just to reiterate, this isn't some small level Twitter drama, guys. This is coordinated, targeted harassment that's reached various levels of the government over this UFO topic for narrative control purposes. And we are watching an implosion of the mechanism right now, and it's very interesting. I'm curious to see where it goes. Oh, that's interesting. Read this. Patrick Vetted said he was asked to join a strange group of insiders. That's what, bro. That's what I'm saying. And people are like, "Oh, it's drama." Guys, open up a history book. This is the same stuff that's been happening. If you like talking about Richard Doty and Paul Benowitz, like, this is just it online, dude.
So weird.
Yeah, Kent Reynolds says Mike scapegoat UAP Patsy. I hate to see it, bro. I hate to see it. But you know what? I think long term, I think everything's going as planned, to be honest. I mean, not as planned, but like as you would expect something like this to go, right? You got all these people worked up, whipped up, doing weird stuff. Eventually, they were going to turn on each other. Eventually, they were going to start ratting on each other once the consequences got hot. Should we cover that rumor? People are talking about it in the chat. I don't know.
Yeah, wait, what rumor?
That one thread that they all try to blame on me. We don't have to.
Look at this. This is real. RPK predicted UAP Mike would go whistleblower. True.
I also predicted UFO Shane would go whistleblower. And people, we love Shane, but he has his own little history with this stuff. He was definitely a part of this group for a while. He's apologized to Ashton. He was like, Ashton, I was told you were a R word and a P word, and I promoted this because I was told. And Shane wouldn't have gone whistleblower and told us these kinds of things had he not felt supported, right? Because they prey on emotionally vulnerable people who are in a fragile state. This is their community. They threaten. It's literally cult dynamics, bro. They threaten to take away your whole community. Look at what happened. Look at what they're saying about Cosmic Dahlia, whether you like her or not. Some of the ways that this group, who has been their friend for years, is just flip of a switch doing it. I don't know, man.
No, this is bizarre. You guys gotta watch this as it develops. Follow Red, follow myself, follow Skyfire News on every platform you can, because as this starts to unfold publicly, we're finally kind of able to talk about it. You know what I mean? Because this is real. This is really happening. Why people were befriending these guys who were known to attack random people, parents, you know what I mean, researchers. Like, this is we don't know why. We don't necessarily know what the connection is, but it's just there. And to not talk about it, to not report on it, I think would be ridiculous. You would
It's an interesting
think,
comment. Oh, go for it. Sorry.
I was just going to say, you would think that this wouldn't be going on, yet it is. So if you don't want to have to know all the ins and outs, if you've got any question about how it led to this or who's who, let us know. We might have to come up with like a character chart for people to follow some of this stuff, because this is a years long kind of investigation now, kind of just exploding out onto the mainstream in the public eye.
I know Green Street's looking into this heavily now. Heavily, this exact aspect of it.
Green Street, the New York Post reporter.
The New York Post reporter is looking into this specific dynamic. Michael Hayden, the Hayden Center, former CIA director, he's liked some of Sean Kirkpatrick's posts, basically, that speak about this harassment that he's also faced from the same group. Oh, this is a weird time, man. It's a weird time. Oh, that's what I want to say. Matt Smith said, the UFO Shane arc totally convinced me about all this. The way they used and provoked him was terrible. And mind you, he was a homeless felon, guys. He's got his life together now. We love him. We're proud of him. He's got the chicken farm thing going. He's handled his duties with the law, but they wanted him in that state so they could have him go around. They did it to our friend Logan.
Who was Shane talking to when his house got raided?
Uplifting tweets of all people. Isn't that funny? Randomly.
Yeah, I honestly think that there's going to be a lot of speculation about some of these weird points that cross over, and maybe some truth coming out about it. It doesn't take much when you build your castle on sand or whatever. You know what I mean? It's going to come down, and to rely on people who are openly attacking each other online, and families and children, the stuff that we've seen over the last couple years is terrible. The stuff that we've actually endured just from talking about this stuff, I wouldn't want on anyone else.
On anyone.
And yet, we
underplay it a lot, actually, to be honest.
We really do underplay it a lot. Especially since Skyfire came out, look, we love the topic, right? I could speak for Red about this. We love the topic. We want truth to come out. We have it's as content creators and people who want to present truth to people, I think, we feel some type of responsibility, right? That we're leading people into the community with engaging videos or explainers or whatever. And then this is what they show up to. It's kind of important to use at least a small percentage of our platform to cover the news of the community. It just so happens that we're so involved in this one. It's a little biased. It might come off that way, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's
and a quick
important
blurb for people from my channel, be like, RPK's been gone and now he's talking about drama. You guys, this isn't drama. And I kind of done caring if people believe it or not. This is happening. Things are going to continue to be happening. It's crazy. And we've talked about this, we don't want to invite people. Keems also said this publicly, that this isn't the environment you want to invite people into. I've had multiple people be like, I would be more into this topic if it wasn't for this dynamic. And to see it kind of implode, I hate what they're saying about Cosmic Dolly, believe it or not. I don't even want the worst for Milk Fart. I want these people to live stable lives, but I'm curious to see where it goes, man. This is a want to destroy ufology.
Dude, look.
Oh,
So mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. His debate was planned. Honestly, I was saying that, Kim. I was like, dude, you fumble psyop this thing pretty good, dude. That
He was
really
like the
horrible
drunken
debate
master,
you did.
dude.
Yeah.
Just, like wobbled his way into it.
Kimball the Destroyer says Zelda 3. That's funny.
Maybe it just happened to happen.
Kimball seems to enjoy being. Should we send Kimball the quick invite for his thoughts on this or no?
Yeah. Here, I got it.
Cool. And then we'll close out. That's about it, right? We covered the Kurt thing. We covered the demons thing.
Dude, Pavel brought up something that I hadn't seen today. He said, "Did you miss Ross Coldhart's news about Pope Francis? That was the most consequential piece of news today." And like, what does he mean by this? I'm very curious. Pope Francis?
Yeah, we could get back to that. I thought honestly the demon thing was a little more interesting, but I can pull that up. I could pull that up. Let me just stop sharing this and find it for a bit while we talk.
He said it's exactly at the 30-minute mark of the show.
All right, Pavel. Hell yeah, we got you, bro. Thank you.
Yeah. We could play another song.
Exactly at the 30-minute mark. Okay, let's go.
Cool.
Here we go. We're ready. There was hella stuff in this interview, dude. I think it's because Easter was on the horizon too. Everyone's feeling all like, let's talk about it. Okay, here we go. The Pope Francis thing. Oh, wait, oops. There you go.
What I've been doing in my research is I've been looking at the current Pope Francis, and of course his name before he became Pope was Jorge Mario Bergoglio. And it's interesting, there's some research that appeared in the South American press where it turns out that the current Pope was a very close friend of one of Argentina's most prominent ufologists, a guy called Benito Segundo Reina, who was an Argentine Jesuit priest and astronomer who died in 1982. And apparently he was the most famous religious UAP enthusiast of the time in Argentina and very, very influential. And apparently he was the mentor of Jorge Mario Bergoglio, Pope Francis. Is this acknowledged inside the Vatican at all, Paul, that the current Pope has been very much a close friend and indeed mentored by a person who was very avowedly a ufologist and who apparently also there are other people who are well-known Argentine ufologists who claimed to receive messages from extraterrestrials that could be prophetic. And one of those prophecies told the current Pope, Pope Francis Bergoglio, that he was going to become Pope. Have you ever heard this before?
I heard it from you in a private conversation.
Okay, this is weird. This is cool. But we got to welcome Kimball to the space. Kimball, welcome to the stage, man. What are your thoughts on this?
On what?
The Civil War, the UFO hate group Civil War that you started with your horrible debate space.
I think that's not fair. Kimball held a great space.
You had good intentions.
The people who were there to debate, they underperformed.
Yeah, I mean, Lou fucking has what's the word? He's ingested this toxicity that he got 2 years ago. And now he's doing it to other people. I assume he did it accidentally. I asked him in his space last night if it was like premeditated, and he said no. So I think he just accidentally mentioned Mike's last name, but I thought that was fucked up. Like, maybe it's not the worst dox in the world, but Mike specifically didn't want that to happen. It made him uncomfortable. And so I don't know. It is what it is. And I feel like Mike and Joyce are not perfect people, definitely reactive and can they've said false things about me and been bullies and drama, whatever. But
they're going hard on them, dude. What do you think of KMF and Carlos and the whole group is turning on them hardcore, dude? Calling her, what did they say she's addicted to? Oxycontin. They're saying
that's awful.
They're saying that she cheats on Mike all the time. She's always S&Ds.
Well, so those same people were saying that you were addicted to meth, or anyone who criticizes them is a meth head, crazy person on the internet.
Yeah, I didn't.
So that's
see
not like
a lot
a
of
new
that,
thing.
But here, I'll just be straight. UAP Mike is essentially going through what I have gone through multiple times, but I went through 3 weeks ago when Tiny Klaus, posted about me and blah, how I'm this predator and all this old bullshit. So he's going through that right now, and he's actually being real about it and calling people out who don't want to be called out. And I do respect him for that, because like, even if Mike is sometimes bad faith or whatever, like most of us are just on here good faith trying to get to the bottom of the UFO stuff. And Mike's had some awesome spaces, reading white papers, and he has great points. He's well researched. And so it really truly makes me sad that Joyce and Mike and UFO Late Group, all those accounts are gone now.
Yeah, I think they'll be back, but
I hope so.
It's a good point, Kimball. It's never too late for anyone. So what I always say, it wasn't too late for Shane. It's definitely not too late for Mike. It's never too late for Gary the Brave. If this
just
continues,
too late for Tupa.
It's just too late for Tupa. Yeah, those Discord messages were just too far. But if this continues, dude, I really think. What do you think's going to happen next? I love this kind of thing. What do you think if they continue going all out on Yappy Mike? What tea is Mike going to spill on this group?
I honestly, I'm only interested in all this because it's also affected me. And frankly, like UAP Mike is a much better like spokesman and defender of himself than I am. So even though I hate to see this happen to him,
not everyone could be RPK, huh? I only cared when it affected me and Tupa. Fair to Tupa.
No, what I'm saying is even when I cared, like no one comes to my side when I they all just like, oh, you're unhinged and like ruining our spaces, so blocked. But Mike is a lot more persuasive. He's a lot more, I don't know, alpha, whatever. And so I don't know. I just respect him for being real about what he's seen. Obviously, he said things that were untrue about me in his space last night. So I assume he's also said some false things about some of these other people. And I really don't care to be in a forever war with these people. I just want to pursue the topic, be honest and good faith. And
Buddy James says
if that can ever happen, I don't know.
I think it will. And I was busting your chops a little bit there, but you did have a good faith. You were actually doing a lot to make sure it wasn't a throwing match, right? Like you really wanted it to be a place where it's like, look, these conversations can happen. People can disagree. You wanted to heal things, right? You weren't just like, all right, start cussing at each other. So, you should get commended for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I said this last night in your stream. I'm not sure. Hello, car in front of me. But basically, an hour before, as I was like putting all my notes together for the space, I had the thought like I need to probably cancel this, mostly for Lou, like just frankly like what Lou has gone through and where his mind's at. I'm like, this is not going to be good for Lou in any regard, because I think he basically is lying to himself. He's lying to other people about the phenomena because of the way he was treated. And he's kind of like, I think him debating someone else on this topic is just
real quick. That's Bad Kitty in chat says, did Kimball pay Lou the full 50 or prorate the debate? What did you end up paying him?
He just commented like 30 minutes ago. He's like, let's be clear, like you haven't paid me yet because I have not yet sent you payment information to send payment to, which is true. He hasn't yet. And so I don't know I think maybe there's a part of good Lou Jimenez that feels bad and isn't going to ask for payment because he realizes that I put a lot of time and energy and planning into the space, and then he kind of sank it 20 minutes in. So
he did, and it was kind of spitefully he did that too. But that speaks to I think your effort and your intentions here. The idea of putting debates together, I think, is a really, really good one, and I think the time and preparation you put into it speaks volumes. So hopefully you're able to organize more debates, but with people who could actually hold their own and not resort to that kind of bullshit.
Yeah,
bullcrap.
And everyone go follow UFO Intros on Twitter. They have great interviews with experiencers, and that's what I like too. Is me and people always say this, dude. It's one thing to read about this stuff in books, but it's another thing to like hear different people in Twitter spaces every day who are not trying to sell a book and like have their own lives going on, who've had an experience, right? Mm-hmm. So I do think what you've done there is actually really commendable. And I think like from a historical lens, like 50, 60, 100 years from now, I feel like that stuff will be so cool.
Dude, absolutely.
I don't know. Like, I kind of suck at it in a lot of ways, but I'm just doing my best. I want to figure out what's going on.
Zim says Lou owes you for your time, Kimball.
There we go. Let's get that
bit.
meme out there. Get that going on Twitter, Zing.
Meat profit. LOL.
Well, guys, my camera is crap. Not my camera, the connection to it is crapping out. So I think it's a good time to put a button in this. We got news coming up tomorrow. We're going to watch this as it develops. We're going to keep an eye on Jeremy McGowan. We'll see if he has any more wild updates about the.
Actually, that's a great point. Pepper, friend of the show, Pepper Gazzoni. I always say it's hard to remember how to say the last part. He said that that video actually was from a few months back, and I think I remember when that first happened. So it's not a current thing apparently, but still a little weird to do.
It's very weird to do, but that's the vibe. That's the vibe. All right, Red. Guys, until next time, my camera crapped out again. My bad. But this was a great
see y'all
show.
tomorrow.
I'm going to play you guys out with some music. Guys, until next time, man. Thanks again.
Bye. Great show.
Contact with a vessel. Whenever I see bitch, my sweater on star seas have some kind of internal temperature regulation system or some shit. Move back, Travis Walton. I think I'm way too high. I think I just saw Michael in black in the back doing lines. What the fuck is Kimball? What the hell is red? Someone saw a craft over Ashley's bed. Back, Travis Walton. I think I'm way too high. I think I just saw Michael in black in the back doing lines. What the fuck is Kimball? What the hell is red? Someone saw a craft over Ashley's bed. I'm in contact with a vessel. Whenever I see bitch, my sweater on star seas have some kind of internal temperature regulation system or some shit. Move back, Travis Walton. I think I'm way too.
Sitting at the bar and I see her. I go over and we talk. As we leave, I remember my bill. Right on time, my bill shows up. Shouldn't be too bad. I only got a cup of honey shit. $152. What the hell? Oh hell no! I gotta talk to the manager or something. I'm getting ripped off that contact in the desert. It's so expensive. The New York Times published an article by Leslie King. Bam! Government had an active UFO investigation program. Blink-182 guitarist Tom D formed a company called To the Stars Academy. They promised to build a UFO, but instead made $100 million movie, and it sucked. No one saw it. Robert Bigelow used to own Skinwalker Ranch. Demons live on Skinwalker Ranch. What's the chance we're getting psyop again? What's the chance?
Alex Jones was right again. God damn it. Are these aliens demons? Are they demons? Let me give you the gist of. For hundreds of years the Germans have been in contact with interdimensional beings. Please believe me. It's all a code, mind control. I know it, Joe. Trust me, bro. Alex Jones was right.
Year 2017, the New York Times published an article by Leslie King. Bam, the government had an active
Corn 82 guitarist Tom D. Formed a company called To the Stars Academy. They promised to build a UFO, but instead made $100 million movie, and it sucked. No one saw it. Robert Bigelow used to own Skinwalker Ranch. Demon Slam on Skinwalker Ranch. What's the chance? We're getting psyoped again. What's the chance? People won't let us in. Do the dance, tuba, do the dance.
No man named UFO Shane. He has 58 laptops. I'm not joking. He has 62 laptops. He knows more than you about everything. He's got more to do. He's UFO Shane. He's got the plan. His IQ alcohol percentage insane. He has 80 free laptops. I'm not joking, he has 96 laptops. So many laptops. My man, Shane has 48 fucking portable computers in his domicile. What the that? Stop sending UFO Shane lights. He's running out of space.
I'm in contact with a vessel. Sitting at the bar and I see her. I go over and we talk as we leave. I remember my bill. Right on time, my bill shows up. Shouldn't be too bad, I only got a couple. Oh shit, $452. What the hell? Oh hell no, I gotta talk to the manager or something. I'm getting ripped off at contact in the desert. Sitting at the bar and I see her. I go over and we talk as we leave. I remember my bill. Right on time, my bill shows up. Shouldn't be too bad, I only got a couple. Oh shit, $452. What the hell? Oh hell no, I gotta talk to the manager or something. I'm getting ripped off at contact in the desert. I'm in contact with a vessel. Whenever icy, bitch, my sweater on star seas. Have some kind of internal temperature regulation system or some shit. Move back, Travis Walton, I think I'm way too high. I think I just saw Michael in black in the back doing lines. What the fuck is Kimball? Where the hell is Red? Someone saw a craft over Ashley's bed. Back Travis Walton, I think I'm way too high. I think I just saw Michael in black in the back doing lines. Where the fuck is Kimball? Where the hell is Red? Someone saw a craft over Ashley's bed.